and it was from a band that I was previously in named Nobody, and they wrote the instrumental part, and I wrote the melodies, vocally wise, and most of the lyrics. The seas turn gray. Don't you want to save our planet? Because it would be good of us. We've got to join and save the world. I think we should change. On guitar.
And welcome to the Oddity Archive, the show that cannot be relegated to public access television, largely because there isn't any in South Dakota. Well, I mean, there is that channel that runs the city council meetings, but that doesn't count. Anyway, after the death march that was the DBX Revisited episode, I want to get back to some good old-fashioned archivisms. And, as implied, today, let's take another dip into the well of televised municipal culture, if you will. And I brought my old buddy Ed with me. And I might even talk over some of this stuff. And there isn't a damn thing you can do about it. To think, that old decrepit cable box that sits behind me during the box segments at one point most likely had the alternately filthy and pretentious madness that was Manhattan Public Access running through its circuitry, specifically on channels C, D, and especially J.
The following program is presented by its producer through the facilities of Manhattan Cable Television, in accordance with government regulations. We are not responsible for the content of this program, and its transmission does not imply our approval.
As implied, Manhattan, of course New York, public access was notorious from the early 70s to early 90s for its free-for-all of a programming schedule. A lot of this stuff I can't run on archive. It's simply too dirty. But nonetheless, let me try and give you an idea.
Just about anything short of hardcore pornography is permitted on public access TV here in New York. What Ugly does is pick up goyles, as he calls them, and hustles them off to a nearby hallway to take their clothes off on camera.
I believe I'm teaching the public. I'm not a star, I'm a professor.
At Plato's retreat, you can make your dreams come true. Fulfill your wildest fantasies, we've got them all for you.
Plato's Retreat, located in the Ansonia Hotel, is a unique club open to free-thinking adult couples. We offer a relaxing, no-pressure environment, complete with heated swimming pool and that great disco beat. Plato's may not be for everyone, but you won't know until you try it.
Tryst, New York's most expensive escort service for those who are accustomed to only the very finest, presents beauty, style, panache. Tryst, 691-0135.
You know, if you don't have a loved one, well, you always have me.
TV screen, they're acting out your wildest dream. Walter's the one that they call the Doc. He's an expert on painting, history, and rock. Glenn is the man who is the host. He doesn't boast, he just talks the most if you listen to the TV.
It's time for TV Party!
Yes, I did this work for 27 years at a hotel. And then I started to talk about politics and the stuff going on in the world. And as a nice Jewish girl, I was raised in Brooklyn among a lot of Italians, there might have been mafia, and a lot of Norwegians, and a couple of Germans. German family next to my mother's brownstone cut part of my mother's tree off because part of the leaves were over on her side. The neo-Nazis. And we have pockets of Nazis and Ku Klux in America that are ready to lynch the nice black people and ready to make slaves of everyone and ready to turn all these refugees into cheap labor like they did with the Chinese and with the Jewish immigrant and with the Irish immigrant who came here escaping the potato famine and pogroms in Europe. Lava!
Proud to announce its annual review of the university.
Welcome to freshman orientation. I'm Dean Rusk. Not the same one, though, in case you happen to know who the other one is. Most of you probably don't know, so it doesn't matter. I'd like to welcome you, the graduating class of 1980, to this freshman orientation. I want to welcome you to Farouk, the university without walls, without halls, and without accreditation.
I don't understand this. I don't understand this, Mr. Good. Your son looks older than you.
Well, he's had a really rough life. But what can I say? He's only 6.5.
He's 6.5? That would mean that he was born when you were 13.
Yeah.
Where is his mother?
Where's his mom? School at Huey. His mother moved to Ghana with my folks.
Wait a minute. You told me that your folks moved to Pakistan.
Which is soon to be published by Angel Hair Books. I see big words. They appear on my forehead, in the air, in space, on the page, on the typewriter. The big words are shouted by Sharon Matlin, and the little words, which sometimes make nasty comments I wouldn't applaud, are read by Margaret de Courcy. I read myself. This is March. Sharon begins.
Go for a samadhi. Feel different. First chakra. Begin. Begin with me.
Hooray.
Get out.
Is a
Joe.
musical, not an order.
Come soon. No. I passed. No.
Pass the
paper.
Warning.
Hey, this looks like fun. Let me get in there.
You. Met Michael at the Tin Palace.
Party.
Sunflower.
Pass.
Omit.
To La Mama.
Good night, Bernadette.
Period.
Begin.
Period. Going backwards.
40 to 10.
See?
Go out. Where?
Mark
You
down.
try Sabasics first.
Kleenex.
Agent London. Action.
Don't
Window.
hesitate.
Miss Tin Palace. See Michael. Go words.
He knows an
Ukulele.
agent.
Wow.
Get linoleum.
Talk to
Crescendo.
Marjorie.
See Joe. Hello to
Karma.
Bob.
Conscious person.
No.
Now. Single.
Fertilizer.
Donuts.
Eat the glazing.
No.
Headroom.
Double day. Popular. So
Socket.
else. Wow. Drunk.
Leave more space.
Don't underline. That's an order.
Potentiometer.
Take your laugh.
now.
Period.
Windmill.
Period. Tonight
Malcontent.
followed
All wrong.
Period.
Go to bed.
Coterie.
No periods. Orders. Go to bed.
Latency.
Glad get out is
New York. Don't repeat. 3 months.
Digress.
Don't sit down. Don't perspire. Don't do it. Leave.
Rotary.
Get it? Get it.
at door. Known.
E, mother's word. Be careful. Drunk
Words.
also.
Here. Where?
Bed, all right. Don't perspire.
Here,
Jade.
show.
No. Don't explain. Noni. Go tomorrow. Explain
Rutabaga.
the interference.
It stops you from
Bed.
doing what
Rutabaga.
Sharon, what the other words tell you.
Omit.
Rutabaga.
Don't go. Be a fool.
Rutabaga.
It's 7.
First chakra.
Rutabaga.
Don't explain the chakras now. Reese Mills. Go to Bernadette's.
It's 7.
Wow. Begin.
Going to third class concert.
Popular wife. Go tomorrow.
Tomorrow is Joe's musical and a party.
Don't
period.
go both.
This is silly.
This next one's already fairly well known, but it never ceases to intrigue me. Circa 1999, an aspiring interpretive dancer by the name of Frank Pacholski, or Pachowski as the man himself pronounces it, lands a show on Los Angeles Public Access called Dancing with Frank Pacholski, which lasts for a whopping 2 episodes. To the naked eye, it appears to be just some weirdo in a Speedo dancing poorly and without connection to the music in front of some understandably nervous-looking seniors. Now, several years ago, our friends at the Found Footage Festival managed to track down and interview Frank, who seems to be 100% dead serious as to the artistic merit of his short-lived show.
What were their reactions to it?
I would say that...
I mean, besides boredom, I saw some of them look a little bored.
Well, I take offense to that. First of all, I didn't come here to be offended.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to...
I think that a lot of times people mistake boredom for excitement.
So, in the name of affixing some kind of meaning to this show, let's just say that it's a comment on consumerism and the tendency towards overconsumption that comes with it. Yeah, that ought to do.
Hi, I'm Frank Pacholski, and you're watching Dinner Dancing with Frank Pacholski.
del güey, nadie lo va a detener.
Since there is no public access television around here, which is just as well because I refuse to stoop that low again, I don't have to do a call-in segment. Hallelujah. But I know you all would be so disappointed if I didn't include some sort of talk show component to this episode, so let's take a look at some other people's talk shows, that is. And no, there are no prank calls here.
How much are you charging for the oil?
What's the rate on those barrels there?
Bow and sway.
How much, sir?
Yes, ma'am. What up, sister?
How much for the oil?
This show is the only even remotely interesting upper prairie Midwestern kind of show I could find. This show is called Freaky Deaky, which aired over Minneapolis, Minnesota public access from circa 2009 to 2012. I find this show to be an extremely challenging conceptual coup of a show. Their brave, reckless abandon of narrative, discernible action, and everything else make for a uniquely ununique perspective on the absurdities of our culture. In other words, it's a bunch of witless, smug, idiot hipsters with nothing of value to say masquerading as artists. Let's just say Freaky Deaky is geeky pee-pee.
Welcome to Freaky Deaky there. How's it going? We got business time coming up, so we're going to teach you about which stocks to invest in there. Did we get that phone plugged in there?
No.
Maybe it's time you should do that, huh?
It's expensive to plug the phone in. I need oil for my hair. Can you send me oil for my hair as well?
Oh, yes, indeed, mammy. I get all the hair you can handle. Well, yes, indeed. You have it all, the oil you want, gallons and buckets.
Now listen,
gallons.
sir, you know you're on company time. I am paying you by the minute that you play, not by the minute.
Oh,
here we go.
Y'all got to get a little egg timer.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Paid by the minute and by how many notes they play, y'all.
Well, I know that they already punched in their time card and their union's watching tonight. There is no making out in the office.
This
See
is
the
just...
HR manual.
Hello, Freaky Deaky.
This is Pink Floyd.
Hold on, Ray, you gotta count down to naked time first.
All in all.
10,
10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make it time! Make it time, business time, business time, it's
We're the business.
Let me go into a little bit of background. Ben Minot is a YouTube personality.
Who's the dork behind the box? Hang on, that guy in the cowboy hat looks familiar. I just can't place him, though. Wait, how is this show still on? And how did ye get a better camera than mine?
Told everybody, he goes, how much you pay to get in here? And somebody yells $8.50, and he goes, for $8.50, I want to thank you for not slashing me throat.
This show is called 1600, a show by and for classic rock snobs. I have no idea what the significance of 1600 is. These guys don't exactly look like Sheila E. fans. Anyway, I feel like I've got a real connection to these guys. Having said that, if this is how I wind up in another 20 years, please tie me to a tree and fire away. I am deeply offended by this warning screen. I'm humorless and uptight. Those bastards stole my beautiful downtown gag, which I stole from Laugh-In, but still. And our budget is so low, we can't afford to take the chance of playing that song.
Welcome to 1600, music program that's 200 less than Jose Cuervo.
You mean it's not a reference to the address of the White House?
Myself, Jerry, we're going to talk...
Wait, you mean Steve and Bob are two different people?
If you do, then drop us a line at Ask FPA.
God, at least, okay, look, if you really do like it, at least give them Viva Zappa at hotmail.com, because...
Speaking of Zappa, you guys totally aren't cool enough for that copy of Evening with Wildman Fisher down there. You should give it to me, because I don't have that one.
Or else you'll find no sites.
Ask FPA at fcac.org. 1600, put that in your memo lines.
And make sure you mention donuts and cheap wine in there somewhere, too.
I want to talk about bands from the 70s that I hated.
You best not rip on the DeFranco family, or it's gonna get real.
Every single day.
Can you say
and
ad nauseum?
Ad nauseum's a good word for that.
Yeah.
Or good phrase.
And not just bands you hate, but the songs that you hate most by the bands you hate.
Oh, God.
Over and over and over.
Ever want to hear Hotel California again. Ever.
Okay, but you're going to be hearing more than a feeling and Don't Stop Believin' that much more.
I didn't hate the Eagles as much as you guys. I guess I used to get it from my girlfriend by playing Desperado, so I never really had a problem with it.
Didn't you used to live at the Hotel California?
Desperado! Why don't you come to your senses?
His imaginary girlfriend always loved that.
Peter, there's a problem. Just cut room B. Thank you.
And just cut all the mics while you're at it.
Other than the fact that, except for maybe 2 songs, they didn't rock.
And those King Crimson guys couldn't write a decent love ballad. Therefore, I hate them.
But he had great hair.
No, he didn't.
It was Glenn Fry.
Yeah,
no, never
Glenn
mind.
Fry, right, yeah.
Glenn is good here.
Yeah, Bernie Leadon.
That's leaden. Like your conversation.
Good. Let's face it.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Journey of the Sorcerer is my favorite Eagles tune, and most people don't know that it's off of One of These Nights, which means you got to put it with Lion Eyes to.
But Journey of the Sorcerer comes first, and Lion Eyes is on the other side of the record. I don't know. I guess true classic rock geeks must listen to their albums in reverse order.
ABBA made a career out of it. But okay, REO kicked ass up through the live record.
Up until Tuna Fish.
Is it wrong I take ABBA more seriously than REO Speedwagon? Is it wrong that I take the Archies more seriously than these guys?
Speedwagon for about 3 years, by which time they had fortunately run their course and gone the way of bands like NSYNC.
I admit I am horribly out of practice when it comes to, playing music. But, probably good enough for public access. As long as I don't have to, play and sing or play and talk at the same time. But, Hey man, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when you run out of footage? Yeah, I've totally forgotten how to play this thing. I guess I'll have to go the a cappella route. Beware! Beware! Beware of pretty fine music. I give up. Let's leave this to the real professionals.
Down in the fields of Jamaica, I roll a joint from half a gram of ganja. Hey man, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when you run out of ganja? Hey man, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they run out of ganja?
fine girl. Young men, beware. Beware of pretty fine girl. Could they mess your mind up? So listen to me, young singers. If you gonna be a singer, Go ahead and sing. Cause these young, pretty, fine girls, they'll mess you up. They'll blow your mind. And they'll slow you down. And don't give them time. They'll mess your mind up. They'll mess your mind up. If you are single, you better listen to me.
And the single from that album is called Candy Pants. Also with Lionel is a dancer by the name of Miss Candy Rice. So let's watch Lionel doing his latest song, Candy Pants.
Your mother's advice, and baby, that ain't all. I'll make you scream and crawl, scratch the wallpaper off the wall. I'm an electrifying lover, not a Mac. I'll make you run away from home with your mattress on your back. For heaven's sakes, got to have a shot of those strawberry shortcakes. Candy Pants.
Hold me close and tell me what I want to know. Say it to me gentle, but it ain't so tall. Come a little closer, make love to me.
Must have been moonglow up in the blue. It must have been moonglow that led me straight to you. Right through the air, heavenly song to come everywhere.
You are nuts. Why do you think you are nuts? Are you nuts? Are you nuts? Have you lost your guts? Are you nuts? Are you nuts? Eating cigarette butts? Why do you think you are nuts? Crazy. They're after me. They're never gonna get me. They're never gonna get me. They're never gonna get me. No. You get away from me. No. Stop it. You can't. Get this. No. Get this away from me. No. Why do you think you are nuts? Why do you think you are nuts? Are you nuts? Are you nuts? Have you lost your guts? Are you nuts? Are you nuts? Stealing cigarette butts? Why do you think you are nuts? Why do you think you are nuts? Are you nuts? Are you nuts? Have you lost your guts? Are you nuts? Are you nuts? Stealing cigarette butts?
Yes, you're watching the amazing world of public access television where anything can happen.
Heavy equipment coming through. Heads up.